Isabella. I'm a junior here at DePaul. My major is in philosophy and I'm double minoring in bioethics and business administration, and I am from Exeter, New Hampshire. So first off, we want to say welcome to DePaul University. We are currently on our Lincoln Park campus right now. We are a dual campus though, so you can see over there is our Fullerton train stop. So that is part of the Chicago Transit Authority. If you hop on a train there and take it about 20 minutes south, you will land at our downtown campus. That is where our business school is, our College of Law is down there, our communication school, our CDM school, so computing and digital media, and then some of our film is down there as well. Then up here in Lincoln Park is considered more of our main campus, but if you do have classes down in the loop, you are given an unlimited Ventura Pass with your tuition. That is unlimited access to all the trains and all the buses on the Chicago Transit Authority. But up here in Lincoln Park, we have our College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, our College of Science and Health, our music school, our theater school, and our College of Education. That's all up here in Lincoln Park. And yeah, so from what we can see from where we're standing right now, over there, those blue awnings, that is our campus bookstore. You can buy and rent textbooks there, and you can also get all that fun DePaul gear there. You can get it online, also on the DePaul bookstore website. Above it is one of our on-campus residence halls. We do have 3 different styles here at DePaul. Starting at the cheapest option, we have communal style living. So that's kind of what you think of when you think of college. So you, a roommate, and then down the hall you have a bathroom shower. Then we also have suite style living. So that's you, a roommate, a bathroom shower, and 2 suite mates on the other side. Some people like to call it Jack and Jill style, but it's all one unit and you'll share a bathroom with about 3 other people. And then we do also have apartment style living, which is exactly what it sounds like, apartment style. So you'll have a dining area, living area, bedroom, bathroom, all in one unit. And that's really popular for older students that choose to live on campus. And that is also popular for athletes because they usually live on campus all 4 years. So over there above the bookstore, that is communal style living. And then over there above Whole Foods, next to the Fullerton stop, is apartment style living. So welcome to DePaul University's quad. This is our nice patch of green space that we have on campus. When the weather's really nice, it's a super active spot. You're gonna see people that hang up hammocks with kind of in between the trees. They lay out, do homework. You'll see me out here reading in between classes. It's a super active space when the weather gets to be a little bit nicer, but we do have 2 big events that happen here in the quad every single year. In the fall, we have our involvement fair here, and in the spring, we have our DePaul Fest. So in the fall, at our involvement fair, it's gonna be the 1st to 2nd week of your freshman year, or of your first year here at DePaul. All of these walkways that you're seeing throughout the quad are going to be lined and filled with tables of professional organizations, clubs on campus, sororities, fraternities, intramural sports, club sports. They're all going to come set up a table and you can walk around, find out what they do on campus, sign up to be on their email list, and just find out what's going on campus right in the first couple weeks of your freshman year. So it's a great way to get involved and find out, or not be in the dark. So then in the spring we do have our DePaul Fest. So that is our student exclusive concert where we block off the quad, we set up a big stage, and only DePaul students can get in. It's a super fun time. It's right before finals in the spring, right before everyone goes home for the summer, and the tickets are only $5 to $10 to get into them. So last year at Fest we had Little Yachty and 303. The year before that we had ASAP Ferg come and perform for us, and then a couple years before that we had Chance the Rapper come and perform for us. So again, the tickets are only $5 to $10, and it's a really fun time right before the end of the year. And DePaul Activities Board is a really big student-led organization on campus that puts on our DePaul Fest, and they are going to be polling you throughout your throughout the year and asking you who you want to see at DePaul Fest at the end of the year. So it is kind of a student decided decision. So lastly, across the quad, you're going to see that is University Hall. We call it U-Hall for short. That is another on-campus residence hall, very popular for freshman students. It is suite style, so it is that second option that I mentioned in the beginning. So you're going to have you and a roommate, a bathroom and shower, and then 2 suite mates on the other side. So it's all one unit, and that was that style of University Hall. And then behind University Hall, there is a parking garage, and on the right of the parking garage is Clifton Fullerton Hall, also a suite style dorm. And then on the left of the parking garage is Monroe Hall, also suite style, and behind Monroe is Belden Racine Hall, also suite style. So in this block, there's going to be 4 suite style dorms, and they are all super popular for freshman students to live in, and they're all very close to each other, very close to the quad. And then right behind me is in front of us is the library, which we're going to go into next. So welcome to the John T. Richardson Library. We call it JTR for short. This is our on-campus library, and it is 4 floors. As that nice sign over there will remind you, it does get quieter as you go up. So here on the first and second floor is where you're going to be able to hang out with your friends, do homework together. It's a collaborative space, so you're going to be able to talk at a normal level, like I'm doing right now, and not get yelled at by anyone. Then up on the third floor is where it's pretty quiet, so you're going to want to just keep it to like a whisper, but do mostly that solo work. Up on the 4th floor is where you're going to want to do that solo work, and it is dead silent, so no talking. I always say if you cough or sneeze, you're going to get a death stare from someone, and that person might be me, because I am always up there reading. But those are the 4 floors. We do have a library down in our Loop campus as well, but to explain this library, just from what we can see right here on the 1st floor, over there we do have our learning commons, so that is where a lot of on-campus tutoring does happen, and that is free for you to take advantage of. DePaul does pay super smart sciencey and mathy students to be supplemental instructors, and you can go into that room and get supplemental instruction, typically for those harder mathy sciencey classes. And that TV that is outside of the learning commons is going to display the days and times that those supplemental instruction or tutoring sessions will meet. Then right over there, we can see our research help desk, and that is always manned by some super nice librarians that are there to help you with your research. So that could be that you are get your prompt from your professor and you have no idea where to start, or you could be 10 pages into a paper and have one really specific question about a resource or a book, and you can go to the research help desk and they will help you out. I've gone to them a few times. The first time I ever went to them, they told me all about the iShare program. So we are partnered with over 90 other universities in the area, and we all share books with each other. So I was looking for a very, very specific book for a paper that I was writing, and we didn't have it here in this library, but the librarian said, do not worry about it. That book is on the iShare program. So he said, this other university does have it. You can reserve it online. They will send it here to this library for free. I can check it out, use it, and then bring it back here, and they will send it back to that university for free. So you want to make sure that you do have access to any resources that you could possibly need, whether that's here in the library, in Lincoln Park, in the library downtown in the Loop, online, or through the iShare program. Then over there, we have our Genius Squad. So I say all the smart techie people work over there where I could never work. If you have any technical difficulties, if you break a phone, break a laptop, you have Wi-Fi issues, the Genius Squad is going to be able to help you out over there. So really common, like if you smash your phone screen, you can bring it to them. They will help you figure out which phone screen you need to order to replace it, and then they will put it on for you for free. So super helpful there at the Genius Squad. And then lastly, we do have our Access Services desk. So that is where you can check out and return books. If you're here for a really long time and you need to borrow a phone charger or a laptop charger, they will lend one to you from Access Services. Then lastly, in that corner, that is a copy, print, scan station. That is where you can copy, print, and scan things. You are given $24 of printing money on your student ID every quarter, and that rolls over quarter to quarter. It is 8 cents to print out a black and white page and 50 cents to print out a color page. You can wirelessly send a document from any computer to any printer on campus, and then you go up, swipe your student ID, and that 8 cents or whatever it costs to print that out will be subtracted from your allotment, and then that document will print out for you. So that is the library. So now we are in the Schmidt Academic Center. We call it the SAC for short. There's a lot of different things that go on in this building. We have some classrooms in here. All of our cultural centers are in here. So our LGBTQ center, our Black Student Center, our APITA Center are all in this building. It's separated off. We also have our writing center in this building, and we have our language lab in this building. So any written-based tutoring that you could need to get a paper looked at, that would be great to go to the writing center. And then any language-based tutoring would be in the language lab. And those are a few of the resources that we have in this building. Okay, so this is DePaul Central. We just say anything with a $ attached to it. These are going to be your people that you're going to want to talk to. So that could be that you have tuition questions, financial aid questions, scholarship questions, payment plan questions. They also handle immunization records and that kind of thing. So DePaul Central handles anything that kind of surrounds a $. So I always joke that it's a great place for my mom to call because she loves to ask like scholarship questions and tuition payment questions and things like that. But you can call them, email them, sit down and meet with them in person. They have regular Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 business hours. Okay, so this is our study abroad board. It is just a small snippet of all the programs that we do offer here, but it is kind of a nice visual to look at. So we do have programs that are as short as a week and as long as a whole year. We also have programs that are major specific and non-major specific. So you really can choose how you want to tailor your study abroad experience, whether you want to go somewhere and take classes that are for your major. Like I had a friend last year that went to London and took film classes because she was a film major, but you can also go somewhere and take just those gen ed classes. So you could go, like I had a friend that went to Budapest and took just those gen ed classes. I had a friend that went to Athens, Greece and took like history and religion and art in Greece. So you can also do that. It's kind of up to you on how you want to frame it. And then the last thing I want to talk about is all of our really cool first year abroad programs. So we have programs that are just for freshman students. Only freshman students can go on them. And they're going to be a shorter abroad experience that is paired with a class that you're going to take here at DePaul. So a really common one, I know one that's running this year, is called First Year Abroad England. And there was a poster here for it just like last week. But it's First Year Abroad England, and you're going to go, you're going to take a class here at DePaul that's called Charles Darwin in the Nature of Science. So during the spring quarter, you will take Charles Darwin in the Nature of Science, that class. And then the first week to 2 weeks of the spring or of the summer, you and your professor and your classmates in that class are all going to go to England and do Charles Darwin themed things. I have no idea what that would be, but those are how those first year abroad programs work. You're going to take a class here at DePaul, and then either for the week of spring break or maybe the first week to 2 weeks of the summer, you and your classmate and your professors will all go to where you've been learning about. So we are still in the Schmidt Academic Center. We call this the SAC Pit. This is a popular place for people to hang out and do homework. And then right across the way you can see one location of the Bean. There are 2 on campus, but you can use your meal plan there, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And you can get coffee, tea, bagels, sandwiches, smoothies, and stuff like that at the Bean. Okay, so right behind me is our Career Center. It is also our Office of Student Employment. As a Career Center, they do a lot of different things. They do career advising, or they also will put on our quarterly career internship and job fairs. So that is going to happen 3 times a year in fall, winter, and spring quarter. They put on a career fair. They also do resume workshops very often. They do one-on-one resume review, which is what I've used them for personally. So I went in there and met with a really nice advisor, and she looked over my resume. There was a lot of red pen everywhere, but in the end, it was really great because I went home and then felt confident about sending my resume off because I knew a professional from the Career Center had looked at it before. They do also do mock interviews in there, so you can walk in and they will treat it like a real interview. So they will ask you all those basic questions and get you prepped for a real interview by letting you know how you did after. They also handle our Ask program, so that's alumni sharing knowledge. So it's a database that you can go on and get connected with DePaul alumni that maybe were in the same major as you or in the field that you want to go into, and you can say, hey, would you like to meet up and grab coffee? And they will say, yes, of course, I'd love to, because that's why they're on there, and they will meet up with you, and you can kind of just make those connections through our Ask program. And they also do run our Handshake as well. So Handshake is kind of like LinkedIn and Indeed combined, and you can go on there, put your resume on there, but you can also scroll through and look for different jobs and internships that companies are posting for DePaul students to apply for. So as this Office of Student Employment, they handle all the on-campus jobs. So a tour guide is an on-campus job. A lot of the students that work in our gym, in our Ray Meyer Fitness Center, those are on-campus jobs. A lot of desk receptionists, that kind of thing, those are on-campus jobs. So if you're interested in working on campus, then you can meet with them. And you can also go on the on-campus job board that they have online, and that just lists out all the different on-campus jobs that are available for you to apply for. So right behind me is that is where we just exited, Schmidt Academic Center. Now we are in two separate buildings. On my right is our OConnell Hall, and then on my left is Levon Hall. They're two separate buildings where you could see a lot of those gen ed classes. So I know I've had statistics in here, bioanthropology, French, that kind of stuff I've had in these between these three buildings. Another last thing before we exit this building, I do want to point out our trio services, or our trio office is down in our Levon Hall. So that is our student support services for any student at DePaul that is first generation, low income. They do career advising, they'll do academic advising, and that is our trio office. So they're really great in there. So this is Arts and Letters Hall. We're gonna head into a classroom in a minute, but you're gonna see a lot of those gen ed classes in here as well. So a lot of English classes, history classes, you could see some language classes, any of those liberal studies core classes you could see in Arts and Letters. Okay, so we are in a classroom in Arts and Letters Hall right now. This is a pretty common setup, but there are all different styles throughout this building. So you can see that there's two kind of U-shaped rows. Another really popular style in this room is just the first row of the U. So you're going to see just one row of desks. That's another really popular style setup for classrooms in this building. And then the other style is literally just your basic rows. But generally, the classroom sizes are going to be around this, maybe even a little bit smaller. So you're not going to see very big classes. We do cap most of our classes at 40 students. Anything like intro to bio, intro to business, you could see 90 to 100 students, but you'll never see more than that. So this kind of gives you a basic idea of how many students you'll be seeing in classes. Okay, so this is our student center. We're gonna head in here now, and I will talk about the three various floors that encompass the student center. Okay, this is the first stop in our student center. It is our nice little corner. I call it the corner of openness because all of these clubs and organizations and communities are very, very open and inclusive of all of our DePaul students. So now I will explain each one. Okay, so first we have our Office of Multicultural Student Success. That is where a lot of different cultural communities are housed. But as I mentioned, in the building we were just in a little while ago, the Schmidt Academic Center, our cultural communities do have their own separate centers as well. But in there they do serve all of our DePaul students. In addition, they have, just to name a couple of the resources that they offer, they have a book loan program. So if there's a really expensive textbook that you don't want to rent or buy, you could check with them, and if they have it, they will lend it to you for the whole quarter for free. They do have a really great first generation college mentorship program, so you can get paired up with an older student and you can grab coffee with them every once in a while, and they'll check in on you, see how you're doing with that transition to college life. They also have an emergency fund program, so if there's something super crazy in your life happens and maybe you can't like pay a phone bill or something, you could check with an advisor in there, meet with them, and they do have emergency funds to help out students in those situations. So behind me is the Catholic Campus Ministry. We are the largest Catholic university in the country. You do not need to be Catholic to come here, but about 30% of our students say that they identify as practicing Catholic. I always say that if you do, or even if you do not identify as Catholic, the Catholic Campus Ministry is a really awesome resource to have here in the Student Center. They do a lot of those service immersion trips that go on during our various breaks, where you can travel the country or travel the world and volunteer. They do put on our weekly, they have weekly Bible groups that will meet. They do weekly dinners where you can just show up and get a free meal, which is great because you're going to be broke in college, but you can get a free meal and talk to some really cool people in the Catholic Campus Ministry. But they do have a lot of services that they offer there. Behind me is our chapel where daily masses do go on for students, and then right next door to it is our interfaith sacred space. So that's a neutral area, a neutral room that we want anyone to feel comfortable going in and using. No matter what you practice or worship, you are able to take advantage of the interfaith sacred space and use that however you'd like. We do also have a Jewish Life Center and a Muslim Life Center up on the 3rd floor of the Student Center as well. Okay, so now we are up on the 2nd floor of our Student Center. We are where a majority of our food options are. And before I point out all the various spots where you can get food, I do want to explain the meal plan. It is 2 parts. So it is half flex dollars and half meal swipes. So you're gonna have both on your meal plan, and you'll use swipes sometimes and dollars sometimes. So the swipe system you're gonna use here at Create. So that is where the swipe system is accepted. You go up and you give them your ID, they swipe your ID, and that counts as one swipe. Everywhere else outside of Create is going to accept the dollar system, the flex dollar system. So if you go and buy a chicken sandwich at Cluck for $5, then the $5 will just be subtracted from that dollar amount that you choose to have on your meal plan, and that goes for anywhere outside of Create. So in Create, there's a lot of different options. It's unlimited, it's buffet style. You're gonna be able to go in and eat as much as you want. You can sit there for 4 hours and just eat. But there's breakfast offered there every day. There's a soup, salad, and fruit bar. There's a pizza bar. There's a home style cook section. There's gluten-free, vegetarian, dairy-free options as well. So there's a lot in there, and it is unlimited buffet. You're gonna be able to walk around and eat as much as you want. Okay, so again, you're gonna be using your the dollar system outside of Create. So the first place where you could use it is here at Cluck. So that's any chicken options. So chicken tenders, chicken sandwiches, all that good stuff. I just recently learned that they have vegan chicken there, which is super cool. I'm not even vegan, but I kind of want to try it. It was like, why not? But they are very accommodating to a lot of dietary needs right there at Cluck. Then over here we have Sabroso. So that's where you can get any Mexican options over there. And then way down on the end is our ramen noodle bar. So any Asian style noodles are gonna be way down on the end. And again, you'll use those dollars on your meal plan. So right behind me is ETC. This is our on-campus convenience store. It is another place where you're gonna use those dollars on your meal plan, where you can get anywhere from like fruit and juice and milk, Ben & Jerry's pints, frozen pizzas. But you can also get like Advil and Tylenol and toilet paper and paper towels and all that kind of stuff using those dollars on your meal plan. So the last couple spots that I want to point out, on the second floor of the Student Center, behind me way down over there, we have 312 Diner. That is our kind of diner style food, so you can get burgers and fries and shakes there. You can also get breakfast all day, which I love because breakfast is my favorite meal. But you can get skillets and pancakes and that kind of stuff, again using those dollars on your meal plan. And then here towards the end is our sushi bar, so you can get any sushi options right here, again using those dollars on your meal plan. So as I mentioned, you're going to be able to go to the Involvement Fair in the fall of your freshman year and find out about all the different clubs and organizations on campus. And we do have over 300 here, and they all kind of housed over there. Those glass doors, that is our Office of Student Involvement. So they handle all the clubs and organizations on campus, but they also handle all of the great discounts that we get all over Chicago. So as I mentioned, you're going to be a broke college student most likely. So if you want to get like a discounted movie ticket or a discounted Cubs ticket or a discounted Blackhawks tickets, that kind of stuff, they all handle that in the Office of Student Involvement. I take advantage of those discounted movie tickets all the time because I love to go see movies and I'm super broke. So the Office of Student Involvement is really great. So right behind me is just a really general room. Here in the Student Center, we call it 120AB. A lot of different events go on here. If you guys decide to come here, your orientation will go on in there. A lot of sorority and fraternity events go on in there. If we have any guest speakers, they'll be in there as well. So it's just a multi-purpose room right in there in the Student Center. So right behind me is Brownstones. It's another place where you're going to be able to use those dollars on your meal plan. It's a really great option if you're running the class and you want to grab a quick breakfast. They have coffee, tea, bagels, breakfast sandwiches, all that kind of stuff in Brownstones. Okay, so we just exited the Student Center across the street, and now I'm going to give you your nice safety spiel. So we have these blue emergency safety poles all throughout campus. From every one, you can see 2 more. So over in our St. Vincent de Paul Church parking lot, there is one. And then over by the Student Center where we just exited, there is another one. So if you are ever feeling unsafe on campus, you can come up, press this red button, and you'll be connected with a campus safety officer on this intercom. Whoa. And then an actual campus safety officer will be directed to this location as well. So between 60 and 90 seconds, you will have a campus safety officer that comes to this location to help you assess whatever's going on, whatever's making you feel unsafe. We do also have campus safety alerts, so that will be an email and or a text that you will get if anything happens to a DePaul student or on DePaul's campus. That information is also printed out and posted in the doorways of every single academic building on campus. And lastly, we do also have on-campus safety escorts. Some people call them DePaul Uber, some people call it Duber, as in DePaul Uber. So it is public safety cars that you can call, and from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. every single day, you can call a phone number and say, hey, please pick me up at the Fullerton train stop, please pick me up at the library, and drop me off at my dorm, drop me off at the student center, wherever on campus, and they will do it. So 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. every single day, you just call a phone number and they will pick you up and drop you off anywhere on campus to anywhere on campus. That is no questions asked. All you do is type in or write out your name, the date, and time, and you are good to go to use those services. And then right behind me is our St. Vincent de Paul Church. They do have weekly masses for students. They also have our soup kitchen and our food pantry, so it's a great opportunity to volunteer in there. And then they also do put on really great events throughout the year. So I know last year in the spring they had a mass in Polish and then a Polish dinner after that any student could go to and attend and eat that good meal after. But they do really cool events like that throughout the year as well. We are now in our Ray Meyer Fitness Center. We call it the Ray for short. It is included in your DePaul tuition. So you just go up to the student at the desk, you give them your ID, and they will open them. And they will unlock the gates and let you in. You can then go up to the desk and you can check out a locker, you can check out a basketball, you can check out racquetball equipment, all just using your student ID right here at the desk. Then behind me we have our 3 racquetball courts where you can obviously play racquetball in them. But I've seen people hang up a badminton net and play badminton. I've seen people kicking a soccer ball around in there. I've seen people hitting a tennis ball in there. All that kind of stuff you can do over at the 3 racquetball courts. And then in our far corner is our 6-lane lap swimming pool. And then we have our locker rooms back there as well. Then behind me is our second location on campus of the Bean. So that's where you can get protein shakes, smoothies, any of that pre-post workout food, quesadillas, paninis, sandwiches, that kind of stuff. And again, you're going to be able to use those dollars on your meal plan there. And then up on our second floor is all of our exercise equipment. So you can see that it kind of wraps around here. But then there are rows and rows that go all the way back to the end of the building. So I've never come here and been like, oh crap, they're all being used. Because there's a lot of exercise equipment up there. And then in our far corner, we do have all of our weights. So weight machines, weightlifting, free weight things. I don't really know much about the weightlifting section, but that is over in our far corner on the second floor. And then lastly on the second floor, those glass rooms over there, those are our fitness classrooms. So a lot of really awesome fitness classes that are free for students go on in those rooms. So we have Zumba, kickboxing, body pump, bar. There's a spin studio back there as well. So there's really great spin classes. They are all free. You download an app on your phone and find out the days and times that those classes meet, and then you can show up and participate in them. So then up on our third floor are our basketball courts. So we are a Division I school here, which I'll talk about a little bit in a minute, but we do have a lot of great intramural and club sports. I do club tennis and I love it, so intramural and club sports are really great here at DePaul. But up on the third floor on our basketball courts, our intramural basketball teams play games up there. Our club volleyball team might practice up there sometimes, but you can also just go up to the desk, check out a basketball, and shoot around on those courts if you'd like to. And then on our last floor, on our top floor, that is our 1/8 of a mile around track. So if the weather's really bad, you don't want to get a run in outside, you can go up to the top floor, get your run in on that track, and you do have the motivation of the Chicago skyline because it is glass all the way around. So I go up there sometimes and walk just to look at the really, really nice view. You can see the whole skyline of Chicago, and it's super nice on that track. So we are at one of our last stops on our campus tour. Right behind me is our athletic center. In here is where our women's basketball team plays, and our women's volleyball team plays in here as well. Our men's basketball team just got a brand new Winchester Arena, which is down in Chinatown, so that is where our men's team play. Then behind this building we do have our Wish Field, which is our soccer field. So our men's and women's soccer teams play there, and our women's softball team plays on Wish Field. All of the tickets for all of the DePaul D1 games are free for students. So you can either just show your student ID at a game and they will let you in, or you can go up onto your campus portal and reserve a ticket for a game through your campus portal. And along with those free tickets for all of the games, we do also have free shuttles that will bring you down to Chinatown to Wintrust Arena if you want to go support our men's basketball team. So a bus will pull up, or many buses will pull up right in front of this athletic center. You can hop on and it will take you down to that game at Wintrust and then bring you back after the game is over. But if you're like me, you'll use that super nice venture pass that we get with our tuition. You'll take the Chicago Transit Authority down to Chinatown, get a really great meal at a restaurant nearby, and then walk 5 minutes to go to the basketball game after. And then right behind me is our Sheffield Square Apartments. It's an on-campus apartment style living option, really popular for older students that want to live on campus, also super popular for athletes because right across the way is the athletic center that I just pointed out. So that is another on-campus apartment style living option. Okay, so we are back in the Welcome Center where we started our tour. And I just end all of my tours with telling you why I chose to come here to DePaul, because I am from New Hampshire, pretty far away. But I knew, coming from a small town, I knew that I wanted to go to a big city for school. And I looked at a lot of schools in New York, looked at a lot of schools in Boston. And then my parents had me come out to Chicago and look at schools here as well. At the schools I looked at in cities prior to DePaul, I didn't really feel like I was in college when I walked around the campuses. And then I came to DePaul. I knew I wanted that college feel, but I also knew I wanted the city at the same time. And that was one of the main things that made me fall in love with this school. On my campus tour, which you guys just took, I really felt like a college atmosphere. I felt like I was in college. You see people around that you know, all the buildings are pretty close together. But at the same time, if you hop on the Chicago Transit Authority, take it 20 minutes south, you land in downtown Chicago. So it is that best of both worlds feel that made me fall in love with Chicago, and that is one of the reasons why I became a tour guide, to tell you guys all about it, tell you how much I love it here. But that is one of the main reasons why I chose to come here.